I'm Jackie Rabbit. Today I want to talk to you about Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way. Everything is coming together for a very solid 2021. Let's hope for a great 2022. No, it's been a while since I've seen you, so go give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because these days you really don't know when I'm going to post another video. I've been a busy girl, and I'll tell you all about it. I want to talk to you about why it's important to deal with bad behavior from others, friends, family, anyone, during this holiday season when we're all gathering, why it's so important to handle this bad behavior correctly, and what that means. So let's go into the details in a minute. Let's go talk about how to deal with bad behavior and the holiday gatherings. Come on, let's go talk about it. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas again. And we're all going to gather with family and friends to some degree, sometimes via video, sometimes in person. Sometimes we're all masked up and no one can see us. Although, that's not always a bad thing. If you haven't gone all the way through electrolysis, as I have at this point, a mask is kind of a blessing. You know, it would have made my life a little bit easier if I could have just thrown on a mask all the time. If you're still getting things done and you haven't just given it your all on the electrolysis forefront, now's the time. I mean, you got at least another year's worth of mask wearing, and maybe another year beyond that, just saying it's a preference and everyone will be okay with it, you know. So, my goodness, use this time right now to go and get that taken care of. It takes a while. It should be one of the very first things you do right after getting a therapist. Go get somebody to give you the right kind of electrolysis. You want galvanic electrolysis if you can find that operator. And it's going to take a while, and you're going to be doing that for a year or two at the least, and 3 or 4 on the outside. I was a good 3+, and it needs to be done. But you know, the masks are kind of an easy way to cover what's going on underneath. But that's why it's a great time to get in there, schedule your appointments, and just knock them down like dominoes. We're talking about a very long line of them. Just get it done. Anyway, let's talk about what it's like gathering at the holidays with your friends, with your family, and what to do when something doesn't go quite the way you were hoping in a conversation, or there's a negative Nelly in the bunch who's rather not keen on you for whatever reason, whether it's something other than trans or trans, whatever that case may be. What do we do about these people who want to engage with us in a negative or argumentative way? It's really basic, and I'm going to go through a couple details, and if you exercise this every time, it's going to be for the best. It may not be what you want to hear, but I am going to tell you it works, it's best, it's what you should do, and I'm just going to relay to you what it is I've done in my life and what I recommend, and know that it's hard to hear and hard to exercise. But you can do it. I have faith in you. So as you're going to your friends and your family and you're having conversations, sometimes, especially in our families, there are some folks who just aren't keen on us for a number of reasons. There are people who aren't keen on Jackie. I have family members who have not positive things to say, but my response will always be the same, as should yours. And you can't help that. It's not you, it's them. But what you do about it is under your control. They might not be, but your response is absolutely under your control. This is where you get to shine, whether they do or not. If you run into somebody, whether it's family or friends, anyone, could be at a Christmas party at work and a coworker really just doesn't seem to think you're all that great. And unfortunately, it might really cut deeply if it's a topic about trans or something stereotypical, or some rumor that flew around about you that isn't true, but you know, everyone just believes because, oh my gosh, she's trans now, it must be true. These things happen. But what you do about it is what really gets known to be the truth. You may not have been witness doing whatever that was, or may not have deserved whatever the stereotype was that was thrown upon you, or be guilty of whatever the transgression it was that is being stated about you. But what you do in public, or at least with this person who might repeat what you say, that is a truth and a fact, and that's where you get to control what happens right then and there. My recommendation will always be kind. Be loving if possible, especially with family. Don't engage in any argument whatsoever. I know you will feel defensive. I've been in the situation. I feel defensive too. I even remember saying to someone once, I'm sorry, I feel on the spot and I feel the need to defend myself, but at the same time, I just don't wish to. I know there are rumors about things, but I just, how are you? It's a pleasure to hear from you again. Merry Christmas was my response. And that's great. In fact, I kind of wish I hadn't said anything about feeling defensive. But in the moment, my brain was really struggling with, what do I say? And that is kind of part of the process. They kind of hit you with something that you weren't expecting and you don't know what to do about it. That's why just having a practice ready to go, if you know a person could be a little prickly, just in your mind knowing exactly what you're going to say, even if it does not fit. If what they're expecting is a negative response and engagement, do not give it to them. It might be repeated ad infinitum, beyond your family, beyond your friends. Somebody else might hear about this from this person who's got the big mouth about the negative experience and what you said that was so horrible. Don't give them that. Have that prepared response in your mind. Right now, it's really easy. Merry Christmas. How are you? I haven't seen you forever. I am so excited to see you again. Any of those would work. Anything you can think of would work. It does not have to fit the negative words that they tossed at you. You can just let it fall away. If somebody throws dirt at you, you don't have to catch it. You can just let it bounce around, ignore it, and wish them a Merry Christmas. They will remember that you were nice, that you were kind, and be sincere about this. Don't do it in a condescending way. Don't do it in a church lady kind of way. Just be sincere. Merry Christmas. How are you? What's going on? Invite them to talk. Change the subject. How are you doing? Get them to talk about themselves. If you can't, you can't. If it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. But if you were kind and you were pleasant and you wished them kind and pleasant things, what's wrong with that? What's the harm that will come from them going somewhere else and saying, do you know what she said to me? She said, Merry Christmas to me. And she was rather sincere about it. Yeah. And she said it was nice to see me again. I think she meant it. She was really nice. She's such a nice person. What's the harm, right? So just choose these pathways with anything. You don't want to build a stereotype or reinforce one that somebody else might have. Or when that person says about the negative thing you guys talked about and it wasn't great, and it's spoken to someone else who maybe is believing in those stereotypes, it reinforces the stereotypes for someone outside of that conversation you had. It can go outside of your own sphere of influence into new spheres of influence for other people without you even realizing that those 3 or 4 little words you said in an engagement of a negative argument went so far. And in that case, it's really traveling because maybe it's something negative about trans people at this point. You don't want to reinforce a negative stereotype. None of us do. We all want to be good ambassadors of the trans community. In short, it really is best to simply be the best you possible whenever the situation arises, and especially during a time when somebody wants you to engage in negative conversation with them, because it can go much farther than just that conversation. If you really want to win someone over and your ultimate goal is to have a repaired relationship with somebody who is having problems with your transition, or someone who has a problem with trans people in general, this is your opportunity to have a long-term goal of showing them the best you consistently and possibly changing their way that they think about trans people or about you. And that's a goal we all want. In the end, I know this is a tough call. This is a hard one to take. I know we get defensive and I know we want to defend ourselves. I do too. But even recently, I have had to follow this myself. I had to practice what I preach. And I know it's not easy. I know it because I do it too. I follow what I'm telling you to do. It's what I've done recently. And honestly, all I want for the people in my life who aren't super keen about me is to understand I'm a good person. I am me at the core. Whatever they heard, I don't even know what it is. Probably don't want to know, right? It's probably not true. And if it is true, I'll own it. If something's about me and it's true, hey, I'll own it and I'll honestly tell you. And I'll apologize. But give me a chance to just show you who I am, right? And that's what you want, the ultimate goal. Let me show you me, the best me, the me that I am carving from this stone. And it takes work and effort. And that's the work and effort that's worth it, because long term, things could change. Attitudes can change. Opinions can change. Preconceived notions can change. And we want this for just a larger reason than ourselves, because it does extend sometimes beyond just ourselves. As an ambassador of the trans community, I know that it's important for me to always, in every possible way, be my best me. Because when I'm not, and I misbehave, it just isn't good for any of us. So I know that. And I do my best. I'm not always perfect, but I have that in my mind and I always try. So if people are misbehaving and being negative towards you and the bad behavior makes you defensive, have something pre-prepared that you can just latch onto, wear a smile, and wish them a Merry Christmas. Very sincerely. Mean it. Want good for them. Honestly, if they feel that from you, they might change their tune. So, beyond all of this, if you want to talk to other trans people, if you feel like you've been cooped up, group nights have been closed forever, you can't get together with your friends, and you do need to talk to somebody who gets it, somebody who understands you. Remember, there's transgenderpulse.com. The moderators and the members there are fantastic. Trust me, that's where I started, got the best advice in the world to go find a good therapist. That was the best thing I ever did my whole life. And I found it on their resource page for therapists in my area. And it worked like a charm. Best thing I ever did my whole life. It was the resource page on transgenderpulse.com. Sign up, and if you do, tell them that Jackie sent you. They know me, and they'd be happy to receive you and talk to you ad infinitum about how things are going. Whether you're brand new or you've been transitioned for decades, you're welcome there, and they are really great girls to talk to. There's plenty of people. There's guys there too. There's all sorts of people. You would not believe how big that community is, but they are very loving. They understand how the holidays can be tough, and it's nice to have some people you can talk to who get you. Take care of yourself, and just remember, I care about how this works for you. I understand how hard it is, and I want you to know if you put one foot in front of the other every single day, you will get there. That's how I got here. I simply never quit. And if you never quit and you put some active moment and movement into every single day, you will be there. You will get to the finish line and beyond. And if you're lucky enough, you'll turn back, find some girl who doesn't know the pathway, and help her find it. That's my new goal. I finally have gotten my medical certification. I'm actually finally starting to work in the medical field of my choice, and I get to work with trans people, and I'm so excited. It is part of the fulfillment of my life to be able to do this, And this next year coming is going to be a great one in that way for me, and I'm very excited to be able to be part of it all. So, find something that fulfills you. Merry Christmas to you. I care that you get through this. You're not alone. See you next time. Bye. Earlier today, I went out to a Christmas party with a bunch of friends. It was a little car club I belonged to. We had a great time, and we had a white elephant gift thing, and I got this great plant and a little magazine that had lots of articles about the cars we all like. And I just had a blast. And at the end of it, we are all leaving, and one member's car had a dead battery. And of course, I was just driving my Volvo. And of course, I'm a well-prepared Girl Scout, and I have what I need to Girl Scout everything. So as we were all leaving, this person came up to me and said, "Do you have any jumper cables? Because my battery's dead." And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Went around, parked, popped my hood. And of course, this person had the battery on the other end of the car. It moved to the other end. It's a mid-engine car and all these things. So it's like, uh-oh, now what? How do we get this car out of here? And I said, "No worries, got you covered." "Oh, but the battery's on the other side. And Jackie, it's too far. And we'll push this car out and we'll do it." I'm like, no, it's okay. I got you covered. And so I get out my bag, I unzip it, and I take out my 20-foot long, 20-foot long, did I say it? 20-foot long jumper cables. I'm always prepared. I'll Girl Scout anything to death. We got his car started, and he was amazed. I wrapped everything backed up, closed the hood, and we got on our merry way. And of course, a couple people had gathered, and the comment was made, "Well, that's the best towing service ever. They come with a girl in a cocktail dress to jump your battery." And I realized that must have looked a little strange. But hey, there are capable Girl Scouts everywhere, aren't there?